2023. It's January the 23rd, 2023. And I'm back on this account. The last time I posted on this account was October the 5th, where I posted a little video about, well, a little music video with a track that I made on there, showing my electric bike ride journey. Anyway, that was in October, so October, November, December, January. It's been 3 months since I've posted. It's been 3 months since I've used the account. I've still been acting a little bit on a music production account called Tublet, but I decided to take a big step back from this account. And the reason was I felt like everything I was doing was through the account. Like I was kind of like living my life through Instagram, and I didn't like it. I felt like everything was revolving around Instagram. And I think it was fucking with my self-esteem a little bit. And I was getting confused, not sure if what I was posting was effective or if it was making any difference, if I was wasting my time, or it just had my head a little bit fucked up. So I was like, right, I'm just gonna move away from this account. And then today, 3 months later, I was thinking about it. And I kind of realized that I'm actually documenting important adventures. I'm documenting my life through this Instagram account. And I want to continue to do that. I want to continue to entertain, continue to show experiences, show different ways of living, show different countries, all this and that. A little recap: I travelled the world for 8 months. I started in Rotterdam, which is where I was based, in Holland. I went all the way to Switzerland by road. I took a train into France. I stayed in France for, I took a train from the Netherlands through Belgium to France. I got stuck at a certain place, and I had to get all the way to the other side of France. And that was in the first day that I was aiming to get all the way to the other side of France, to the border. Anyway, I couldn't get on my train because I didn't have a special certificate at the time to get on the train, if you know what I mean. So I got stuck. I ended up getting an Uber from Lille to Lyon. So I got an Uber from one side of France to the other, and I put my bike in the boot. I had an electric bike. It took 6 hours. It cost €1,000. That's the most expensive taxi I've ever not paid for, because I was actually trying to pay for it through the account, but the payment wouldn't go through. The payment wouldn't process. So Uber ended up blocking my account, so I got away with that one. Anyway, from the edge of France, the border, I was trying to get to Geneva, which is the capital of Switzerland. And I was going to do it on a bike. So I did. It took me 2 days. I thought it was going to take 1 day. So I thought I was going to get to Geneva in 1 day. I can't remember how many kilometers it was. But I thought I was going to make it in 8 hours. But anyway, I got stuck in the French mountains, and I had to get an Airbnb, an emergency one. I was running out of battery and stuff on my electric bikes. It was getting late at night. It was getting into the evening. And you don't want to be travelling in the evening. It can get dangerous when you're on a bike and that. So I ended up staying in a farmhouse that was nearby. It was a bit of a detour, but it was close. So I stayed at a farm with chickens and eggs, goats and fucking dildos and shit. Just proper farm shit, really. And then the next day I set off again, and I was pushing myself way too hard. I was doing like 8-hour journeys every day. Anyway, I crossed the border. Turns out borders don't exist. It was just a river. There's no such thing as actual borders. They're actually a concept created by governments. That's what I realised when I actually went over the border. It was no different to not going over a border. In fact, borders don't exist. Anyway, I got to Geneva. I stayed there. I was tired as fuck. I didn't even go out. I just went straight to the hotel. I remember I was pissed off to fuck. Like, I was just exhausted from the riding. It was new. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, really. So anyway, turns out Switzerland have got different plug sockets. So I couldn't charge my batteries up for the bikes, right? So I couldn't carry on traveling by bike again. And I had all these Airbnbs already booked, so I had to get to certain places for certain days, certain times. And I was already behind schedule. Oh no, I wasn't at this point actually. Yeah, no, I was behind schedule. I was supposed to be in the middle of Switzerland, and I was on the edge of Switzerland where Geneva is. I was trying to get to this cabin. I had this cabin booked in the mountains in Switzerland, and that's where I was trying to get to. I was going to stay there for a month. So the next day I got a minibus, yeah. I put my bike in the minibus and went to the middle of Switzerland. The minibus cost about 400 francs or something. Another expensive journey. Stayed in Switzerland in a cabin for a month. It was nice. Lots of cowbells. Ding, 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 ding. That's all you could hear, cowbells. Mountains everywhere. I didn't really fit into that scene, really. I didn't really feel like there was anything to do. I was just stuck in the mountains. I tried to explore it a little bit, but I don't know. I just couldn't really feel the vibe there. I'm not really a mountain guy, I guess. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to speed up the story now a little bit. I carried on from Switzerland after a month, and I went to another place. My electric bike was a piece of shit, and it was causing me a lot of problems. I couldn't get up hills on it, so I abandoned the electric bike. And then I stayed in another farmhouse for a month. Way too long. I was actually meant to be just continuously travelling. My plan was to go all the way to the Middle East on an electric bike. All the way from Italy through Montenegro, Croatia, through Turkey, and then like Egypt, and then all those Middle Eastern countries I was planning on doing. It didn't end up turning out that way, but that was the original goal. I bought a new electric bike in the new farmhouse, and it was a fucking sick one. And I was like, right, I've got two choices. I can go back to Holland now, call it quits, or I can go over the Italian border and continue the route, the adventure. I was shitting it from going to Italy. Obviously, Italy was very non-tyrannical at the time, if you know what I'm saying. There was no tyranny going on in that country, which is why I wasn't scared of going in that country. Anyway, I did it. I set off again after a month. I was unfit. I'd been chilling. I'd been just hanging out at a farm in like this beautiful town called Brig. It was like mountains surrounding the town. The town was flat at the bottom, and there was mountains all the way around it. I crossed the Italian border the first day I was setting off. I was right on the edge, and I was like, I'm going to cross this border again. All of this was completely legal, by the way. Absolutely nothing illegal about it. I crossed the Italian border. Turns out borders don't exist. Yet again, it proved to me there was nothing there. The only thing that was different when I crossed the Switzerland-Italian border is as soon as I crossed the Italian border, the road started getting all cracked and fucked up, and then all the buildings started run down. It was like I'd travelled 50 years back in time from Switzerland, which is Switzerland's all immaculate, perfect. Anyway, from then on, I was like, right, no more transport, no more trains, taxis, none of this fucking shit. I'm going to do it all on electric bike. So from then on, it was electric bike. I had the right bike and shit, so I didn't have to fuck about. Every 2 days, I would set off. I would travel about 50 kilometers, and then I would land. I would get somewhere, stay there one night. Next day, I would stay there 2 nights. But the next day, I would explore the town a little bit, get my food ready, and set off again. Constantly doing this, all weathers, everything. Some of it was really horrific. There was one time when it was freezing, pissing it down. I got drenched as fuck. It was going through all my waterproofs. Um, my phone died. My phone broke from the water. I had to get a ship. Not a ship. A ferry across the water, and I was waiting 15 minutes and I was drenched, freezing, just waiting for this boat to take me across some fucking, and then I got across, yeah, and I was getting changed quickly in the fucking boat, like changing my socks and everything because I was fucking drenched. And I got to the other side, and it was just like one road to get to where I needed to. So it was like really quiet areas, one road to get to where I need to. So if you imagine this is the road, a long road. Anyway, I just get to this tunnel. Think about it. I'm drenched. I'm cold. I'm just desperate to get to to this place. I get to this tunnel and there's roadworks, bruv. There's a fucking barrier on the fucking tunnel, bruv, and I'm just there like, where am I supposed to go here? Where am I supposed to go here? No, no, there's roadworks. There's roadworks. So what I did is I snuck around the fence, yeah, and I walked under this tunnel. This is where the roadworks were. And this is one of the benefits of having an electric bike. I went through the tunnel, walking. I left my bike behind me, walking. Went up to the builders. I was like, "Can I come through here, bruv?" They were like, "Yes, bruv, of course you can, bruv." I was like, "Yes, lad, what you saying there, bruv?" He was like, "Yes, bro, get your cock out." I was like, "Chill out, bruv. Not going that far." Anyway, I went and got my electric bike and went through. So that's the benefit of electric bike. Ding dang do. That's one of the stories. A lot of shit got happened. I got one time I went over the 2,000 meter mountain, and then on the other side my battery went and I got stuck. I had to get a lift off a guy right near the end of the journey. That was one journey. I'm trying to think of other memories. Yeah, there was fun times, man. Fun times, hard times as well, lonely times, but challenging times. I ended up on the motorway a few times. That was fucking shit. Like Italy and Google Maps, put them together. That's you on a motorway on a bicycle, bruv, on 100 mile an hour fucking 100 mile an hour highway. That's you with all your stuff on a fucking motorway with nowhere else to go, bruv. That's nasty, nasty. Anyway, cut a long story short, I was stuck in Venice for a while, waiting for my passport from England because I had to renew my passport. And eventually it arrived. I was stuck in Venice for about 6 months. No, 6 weeks, sorry. And then I flew to Mexico. And then I'm not going to go too much into Mexico. It was crazy. It was hostel living, partying, meeting girls, doing all this kind of shit. Meeting lots and lots of people, like hundreds and hundreds of people, like so many people, like playing pool, chilling at hostels, not traveling too much, because after that traveling expedition, I wanted to just chill. Anyway, I run out of money, came back to Rotterdam, and I came back with nothing, back to Rotterdam, back to where I've got a residence. I came back with nothing really. I had like some shorts and t-shirts from Mexico. Most of my clothing had been shed, got rid of. I had no money. I got a job in 4 days, back on electric bikes. In a couple of weeks, I rented an electric bike again. My bike, one of my push bikes got stolen right at the start as well when I got back. Rented electric bike again, and the electric bike shop. Basically, they give you an electric bike. You pay €80 a month, yeah. And if anything happens to the bike, you switch it. So you go to the shop, they just give you a new one. So basically what I do is I wear the fuck out of these bikes, yeah. I just get them and I just rag the shit out of them until they're fucking dead, and then I take it to the shop, get another one, rag the fuck out of that. I'm doing about 1,000 kilometers a month doing this job. And now I'm just kind of mastering Rotterdam to the point where I know the whole city kind of, not inside out, but close. I could probably get from any part of the city to the other without a map. I know my way around this map unbelievably. I'm starting to not even use the maps now. I'm just an e-bike rider, living a life. But I was living in a shared house with 10 people. It was very difficult. I had a lot of, let's say, issues with narcissists, and it got out of hand. Really, I was living in a mouldy house where the landlord didn't really give a fuck about us that much. It was cheap rent, but my room had mold in it. I had to renovate the whole room for nothing just to get rid of the mold, and the mold didn't go away. It was still in the air. I was trying to chill and focus on stuff, and there was always conflicts, right? There was always like these conflicts on WhatsApp, all this WhatsApp politics. Every day or every week or whatever, there would be some fucking bullshit on WhatsApp, and you would be added to all these groups. There's so many people in the house, all this politics, all this shit, conflict. I had to uninstall WhatsApp, so I uninstalled WhatsApp for a month because of this shit to give my head a fucking break, mate. Like, I'm working there, I'm just like at work, someone comes through, oh, this person's got a problem with you, or this person wants to fucking talk about conflicts with you. And it's like, alright, well, let's do it in person and not on this stupid app. Anyway, I ended up reinstalling it after a month. Within 2 weeks, I was already sick of it. All the conflict started again. I had this girl that was trying to kick me out of one of the shared rooms just because she felt like I shouldn't live in this house because of some past issues where we had a conflict at the very start, and then she didn't want me to live in the house. Anyway, I'm not going to go too much into this business, right? But she basically, if you imagine a dictator that wants to use mind games to try and take away your freedom, and also trying the old totalitarian tiptoe method of, okay, what if we come to an arrangement where you only have this shared room for these amount of hours while everyone else in the house gets the shared room for 24 hours? She's trying to make me out to be a disturbance. It's like I come in the room, I'm chilling, I've got my headphones on, making some music on my laptop, and then she comes in and starts giving it big un. Anyway, I've decided that the conflict, even though I never gave in to anything that she said, I just refused. I said I deserve this room like anyone else, and she got it in for me because we had some issues at the start, and this girl, I mean, I don't want to bitch about someone or gossip about someone, but a lack of empathy, definitely, and just insanity, definitely some insane psychopathy, or maybe sociopathy, or just apathy, basically. Like, and I'm not gonna diss her. I'm not gonna call her names. I'm not gonna do anything like that. I want her to have a good life, but I don't think she wants anyone to have a good life. I think that she's done so much shit to people in her life. If I leave, like, I ended up leaving the house anyway. I ended up moving out, and I've got like a nice place now. I'm chilling with one person, and all that conflict is out the window. Like, I don't mind a little bit of conflict. I'm sure I learnt a lot from the conflict there, but it was out of hand. It was out of hand. Like, it was gonna get to a point of her throwing bottles at my head, I think, because I was like stubborn or refusing to give her any of this kind of. She's trying to take something away from me that I deserve, like rights to be in shared rooms. Yeah. I'm not going to give her any little bit that she's trying to take, because she'd take more and more. This is what dictators do, right? I think she would make a great dictator. I hope it. Look, Dana, if you ever see this video, I think you should get into politics. I think you would make a great dictator. Maybe you could be the next Klaus Schwab. I don't know. But I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm just saying that this is what happened and this is how it is. So I'm going to leave it at that, I think, for now. But I'm ragging the fuck out of these e-bikes. I'm all over Rotterdam. Come catch me. I'm coming to England soon. I'm going to Amsterdam again soon. I'm making bread again. And I'm going to keep travelling and I'm going to keep doing shit. But for now, have a look at that, you fucking douche. Yeah.